Video on YouTube today. This is a little screencast I'm going to make to launch the agenda here because Kevin was kind enough to agree to facilitate an agenda I would draft. So just to kind of make sure you guys are clear on terms of what I'm thinking, but obviously what works best for you guys in the meeting is what you should do. So as always, we have our interactive agenda with our table of contents. So I'll jump down to the beginning. So our agenda essentially today is 8 to 8:45. We're going to do the book study. Remember last time we talked about everybody just choosing a section in the book that seemed like it was most interesting to them. Read that. Kind of a down week for our book study, but it always has promise when you guys dig into this text and talk about your work. So one protocol we've used in the past is the save the last word protocol. I think it's great because the person who shares like the section of the text kind of listens to everyone else's reflections on what they just heard before the person who chose the text talks about why they chose it and why it's important. So I included the protocol, making the suggestion that Kevin could be the timekeeper because that will support him with one of his personal goals. Next thing on the agenda is 8:45 to 9:10. What I did here was I kind of did a new version of the feedback form we asked you to complete at the end of quarter one. This time, we're asking you to dig back into a little bit your records of support and just write some quick reflections on how the time is spent, your perceptions of how your time is spent, and also kind of successes and challenges you're perceiving there. So in order to just kind of familiarize yourselves with that form, this is not really a time to complete the form, but just to familiarize yourselves with the form, I linked it here and here. So this is the second part of the agenda is familiarize yourself with that form, and then instructions for completing it are here. The next part of the agenda is planning for the new teacher induction class. That's this coming, January 16th, 4:30 to 6:30, so it's later than last time. What I have is the place where we built the agenda last time. There are more registrants this time. So just the outcome here is that you guys are on the same page about who's going to facilitate, who's showing up. Not everyone has to. I'll be there this time. And so just take this time to get on the same page about that. So I'll just put who's facilitating, who's not. If you could indicate that here. The next piece of this agenda is the technology purchase plans. So what I've included is a link to the mill levy budget requests. These are the requests that Kevin and I had to review and provide feedback for on in terms of how principals wanted to spend this short-term money. Some of these will have, I think, big implications for coaching. Other schools spend it entirely on people. So the goal here is to familiarize yourself with what your schools may or may not be purchasing with technology. So the reflection questions for you guys to think through are: what support do you envision those schools might need? What challenges do you foresee? What immediate next steps do these purchases suggest for you? I think this is a discussion. I know that Kevin's interested in your reflections. It's certainly not a writing assignment that you have to plug in your answers here. That might also be kind of like, to me, the most important kind of agenda item. So feel free to slow down. Definitely feel free to capture questions. And then this is something that I'll revisit with you. In the same way I'll revisit your reflections and your feedback. We'll probably revisit this in terms of what are the implications for our support. Lastly, I just have on here the Educational Technologists of Colorado meeting. Just a reminder that that's optional for next time. And I'd love it if you could just list who's planning to attend. And just a reminder that we're going to prepare to take notes and think about how you can share them with the team. So thanks, everyone. I hope you have a great meeting. Happy Friday.